I'm here with Hanno Narjus, who's SVP of Network Products at Teleste. How much momentum across the market are you seeing for Docsis 3.1?
Now, Docsis 3.1 of course gives a great promise for cable operators to maintain their competitive edge in providing broadband services compared to the fiber to the home counterparts. So it is no surprise that we are now seeing across the board all operators wanting to move rather sooner than later to launch Docsis services. So indeed the momentum is extremely strong, and with the products on CMTS side now becoming mature, we have been seeing already first pilot statements on success speeds to be serviced to the consumers, and we will be seeing more and more of this towards the end of the year with real production system launches with Docsis 3.1 services in 2017.
How closely aligned is the move to Docsis 3.1 with 1.2 gigahertz upgrades, and what do operators need to do to maximize the bandwidth available from their networks?
Now, Docsis 3.1 upgrade in CMTS side is giving a benefit, but far away from being the full benefit. The full benefit in terms of capacity building is when you also upgrade your entire HFC cable network. And that is a big project which takes typically number of years to complete, because we are talking all the households needing new wall outlets, plenty of passive products need to be replaced, all the amplifiers and optical transmission systems. So we are talking about tens of thousands of network elements needing to be replaced, and then this takes number of years to complete, and hence the network upgrades on HFC side have been already started, and the first announcements have been operators like Telenet, like Telenor, and many others who have already started the upgrade before the CMTS side is available, because in order to be complete upgrade available, it will be taking us somewhere towards 2018 and 2019 before the new spectrums can be utilized.
So what are the key challenges in upgrading to 1.2 gigahertz?
Now, to start with, first of all you need products, and of course the industry has been working hard. We have been working 2 years to upgrade our entire range from wall outlets, passives, amplifiers, optics to be 1.2 gigahertz compliant vis-a-vis 200 megahertz return path. Now, on behalf of Teleste, we can say that is pretty much completed now, and we can here demonstrate everything up to 1.2 gig, and more or less we can say goodbye to 1.1 gig products and 860 products. But that's not enough. Furthermore, you need to do careful network design analysis, and not only for the network loading today, but even more importantly, the network loading which will be there in 10 years down the road, when we are talking more about all IP scenario. And when we have been studying the networks, how they can be upgraded successfully to full Docsis 3.1 loading, we are finding that you need to identify the bottleneck points in the networks, and they can be very different from one operator to another one. Like in UK, you have long drop cables, the bottleneck is in the last amplifier, you have to find a solution for that. In Belgium, the bottleneck is long coax cascades, and that's where we need to find an innovative solution. So there is no one-size-fits-all solution to the network design. You have to apply the calculation rules, and you have to know the calculation rules, and then you have to find the bottleneck points and find the solutions. But so far, we have been able to help our operator customers to make that solution available. One more thing what I would like to highlight is that now operators want to do these rollouts as fast as possible. Previously, it could take 4 or 5 years to make the coax network upgrade. Now they want to do it in a couple of years. And in order to do that rollout with such speed, you have to have a project plan enabling very quick implementation of the amplifiers, and intelligence in the amplifiers helps and enables to do very fast rollouts and even use non-expert technicians in the field to do the field work. So this type of challenges need to be solved, not only to make great products, but a network that is performing as it should.
So we're hearing a lot about centralized versus distributed architectures. What do operators need to think about in making those choices, and what impact will that have on their business?
Indeed, Docsis 3.1 deployments is great, but that will not be the final result. The next evolution will be how the networks will be migrating towards data networking oriented systems, and this distributed architecture is the vehicle to get there. Now, there are pros and cons in distributed architecture versus classical centralized. The main benefit of distributed architecture is that you can squeeze the best capacity from your coax asset. You can go up to 4K constellations when you are deploying distributed architecture into your system. The cons in distributed architecture are, first of all, that it is a major change in your system architecture, having many implications, and you have to plan your migration very carefully. And there are, of course, risks when you are touching a live system. So that is one drawback. You have to really carefully do the planning of it. And there are many details that we are working on how networks are monitored, how they can be controlled, and the legacy systems need to be supported, and these details need to be sorted out. The other drawback in distributed architecture is that now we are moving functions from the CMTS into the field. And in order to build up the capacity, you have to make a reserve capacity investment, because you cannot visit fiber nodes every 3 months to do the next capacity upgrade. You have to have a capacity in reserve for your 3-year needs or 5-year needs. So there is an element of higher upfront capex scenario when going towards distributed architecture. However, we strongly believe that there will be an evolution because of the benefits it gives on the capacity. However, there will be a kind of a timeline how you can do it in a managed fashion.
Finally, how different will the next generation cable network look compared with what's gone before, and what will operators need to do to maintain it?
The introduction of data networking and digital Ethernet optics and Docsis functions in the node will bring new requirements and new skills how the networks are maintained. And also that will bring needs to make new tools available to run those networks. So we believe strongly that there will be much stronger network operating center remote capabilities to monitor and control what is going on in your network. And that will be moving along with this move towards distributed architecture. And that will impact in a big manner how the field operations are also run. We believe there is an opportunity to reduce your operating expenses in the field work by replacing it with more centralized monitoring and controlling capabilities. So it will have a profound impact on how networks are maintained and operated.
Hanno, thanks very much.